Looking for a new car or expert service? Visit Limerick Motor Centre, your main Hyundai dealer on the Ballysimon Road. A proud family business for over 30 years, we're Ireland's longest-serving Hyundai dealer. With sales, service, parts and finance all under one roof, our dedicated team delivers value, expertise and customer care you can trust. Call 061 417 141 or visit limerickmotorcentre.ie. Limerick Motor Centre, driving with you for over 30 years.
The impression again we get out with what you put into it. It's like a walk of life. If you're good enough, go out and get it, no more about it.
Not so much control in the centre of the field from Kilkenny as Richie Bennett sends it high and over the bar.
Your mother sends you down to the shop for a pound's worth of goods and she gives you 50 pence. You can't get the pound's worth of goods, can you?
Just about kept in. Oh, well done, Shawnee Buckley. To do that to Tomas O'Shea, he deserves to score from here. One of the highlights of the Sunday game.
Limerick went out there from the word go today. No more about it. They made all the running, that was it. Put the ball over the bar and the back of it, and that's it. No ifs, no buts.
Is there much time left? We have a couple of injuries. Here comes Kieran Curry. Curry leading the charge of the right brigade. 45 metres out. He's a chance to score. He's put it high. He's put it over.
There's no sympathy in this game for anybody.
Hello, and you're very welcome to episode 355 of Treaty Talk. And as the ad suggested at the start, we're here in association with Hyundai, the Limerick Motor Centre, the main Hyundai dealer in Limerick. Matt O'Callaghan, how's all with you after 6, well, if not 7 finals actually at the weekend?
7 finals, Tom. Yeah. Absolutely. It was a fantastic weekend, but of course, for the likes of you and me, it was a hectic weekend. We'd love to see all 7, but that was physically impossible, Tom. But there were so many highlights. First of all, and we'll be talking to one of the main players in it in a minute, the Mungret win was absolutely fantastic. And tell you the truth, Limerick football needed it. And I think we saw it coming last year, although I was beginning to, I saw it during the group stages this year. But, you know, when push comes to shove, you say to yourself, no, it won't happen. And especially with Adair and Newcastle West lined up on the way to beat the two of them, it was a great final to win. You'd come out Rovers winning a first title, which absolutely fantastic. You'd a hand winning back-to-back promotions. And Tom, what about Doon? You know, fielding 4 teams this year, 3 of them getting to county finals, 1 getting to the other semi-final. I don't think there's a person in this county would begrudge them their victory in the Junior C hurling final. And it was fantastic to see that. And of course, there was a certain club called Knockkenny who bridged a 21-year gap. And Tom, I want to congratulate you. You did the Cluxton on it. You came up and you kicked the winner. And, you know, I kind of felt humble coming on here this evening because I felt I was going to be in the company of football royalty, you know.
Well, so, I don't know about that, but look, it's, as I said to a few people, what's rare is wonderful. You know, it wasn't often I score from that sort of range. I hit more wide than hit more over, but look, it was.
Oh no, Tom, drop the modesty now for a minute.
Wasn't that far out either. Probably going to grow legs, I'd say. It'll be 60 or 70 metres in 2 years' time.
Till be behind your own goal before you finish, like.
Yeah. That's it, with my bad leg against the wind and all the rest of it. But anyway, look, big moments there, as you say. Camogue winning their first title, Han winning back-to-back. Even South Liberty is winning the Junior C. I think it's their first football title in over 20 years as well.
Liberty's back in the big ball code, Tom. And if we could switch codes for a minute, what a performance by Newcastle West against St. Finbarrs. It was level after
heartbreak,
It was and fantastic performance and heartbreak. But Tom, it wasn't something that I was surprised at, as we flagged here, and we've been flagging for the last couple of weeks, that this is a much better Newcastle West team than it was last year. And they were level at the end of normal time, level at the end of the first 2 periods of 10 minutes, and it took 2 more periods of 5 minutes to decide it and lost by 2 points. It's a horrible way to go out, but full credit to Mike Quaid and his charges. They did our county proud, and they did the game of Camogie in this county proud. And spare a thought also, Tom, for Patrick's well. who defeated Killard in the Munster Junior Clubs semi-final, and will now go on Sunday week to play Clooney Quinn in the Munster final. And I know we'll be talking about it later in this program, and we certainly will be talking about it on the run up to next week's program.
Yeah, that's it's plenty so to discuss in the next hour, an hour and 20 even at this rate. We've been doing well to keep it under 2 hours in the last 2 weeks, but that is the mammoth amount of games, and indeed quality and quantity of games we've had. But let's take a look at one of the pieces of action from the weekend, and we'll bring in the man who kicked it in just a moment.
Hutton going inside that arc. Giltinan just outside the arc looking for the two. Brendan Giltinan, the super split from Giltinan.
Now, Brendan Giltinan joins us, part of the winning Mungret St. Paul's team. Brendan, that was, I think I described it in one of the reports, that was the beginning of the run for home for Mungret St. Paul's. Did you start to believe around then, or was it before that this senior football title could be yours?
Yeah, so I kind of, a lot of clubs and a lot of people kind of would have wrote us off at the start, leading into the quarterfinals and into the semi-finals. But like, our team is such a strong bond that we had great confidence going into the final. But like, the young lads that have come into the club and into the team over the last couple of years, they come in with the mentality of, we don't lose games. That's their mentality. So like, I've been playing for 16 years and I definitely haven't had that mentality for that long. And the young boys coming in, it's just so inspiring to see, especially for the old lads. I don't know about how inspiring the two-pointer was, but it definitely kick-started the lead up to the end of the game anyway.
Yeah, you say 16 years. That's 16 years at adult level. You were down the grades in hurling. You were down the grade in football. I wouldn't have said that a lot of people around in the county would have had confidence in any Mungret team getting over the line in any grade or any competition. It was kind of nearly a battler's tag that was associated with Mungret for a lot of times. We'll get to semi-finals, we'll get to finals, but couldn't see it over the line. But certainly in the last 6 or 7 seasons, or maybe even less, there's been a huge sea change at minor, 21s, 20s now as it is, and indeed at adult level, because no matter any final Mungret are getting into now, there's a fair chance Mungret are winning it.
Yeah, what's it, 2 years in a row now they've won the 20s football, they won the minors football this year as well. And we're going home to kind of really set a good standard for the under 20s again this year. We have a strong team, like the likes of Dermot Hines there, the likes of Tom Loy come through. Like, they're inspiring footballers. They're a talent, and to have the likes of those coming off the bench, like, I don't think we've ever finished a match with a weakened team. Like, you've old lads like me starting, but then you've boys like those coming in off the bench, and I'm like, my legs are done. These boys are coming in, they're going to run the show now. So like, it's class to have such a strong band and it's such a strong team to allow us to do that.
Yeah, it's go on, Matt. Sorry, yeah.
All right, Brendan, I know that an awful lot of importance has been attached now to your finishing team, but it was something that struck me about Mungret a couple of times during the year, and I actually said it to Kevin O'Hagan on Sunday when he was giving me the team news. Any team that has a player of the calibre of Dermot Hines on the bench starting must have real quality.
Yeah, like, it's hard to see him not starting. Like, as in, like, those two boys were called into the inter-county team last year, and like the standard that they set for themselves just really pushes on everybody else in the team. Like, I think those two boys would be starting anywhere else in any other club team. They'd definitely be there. Like, and I just looking at them coming on, it's like, we're not going to lose. These boys are coming on, we're not going to lose. So like, I did pleasure teaching the boys as well inside in school, and my confidence in coaching them, I knew that these boys have the mentality, we're not going to lose. So it's incredible. Like, the standard that they set for everyone it raises for every other player on the panel as well.
Dermot, when you got that excellent 2-pointer, and congratulations on it, it put Mungret 5 clear. But the next score was a Newcastle West goal, and the response from Mungret, is that something you had specifically prepared for, or is it something you had talked about how you would respond? Because it was batten down the hatches first and then go for the juggler again with a few scores. Yeah,
we see every score as, let's reset. set up for the kick out, do our kick out strategy. Like, no matter if it's a goal, it's a point. If it's a goal to go 3 points ahead, it's the same routine. Like, Kevin and Pa have us so drilled into routine that like nothing should phase us. Like, even the match against the Dare, like, we were never more than a score down, and I was on the sideline. I was hearing Pa Rannan shout in, "It's only one score. It's only one score." So like, we never kind of overthink anything. Once any team goes a point ahead or anything like that, we just go, right, set up, let's do it again. Like, we know that we have the quality in the team to fizzle out if there are 2 points ahead or if it's a draw or anything like that. We know we have the quality on the pitch at all stages of the match to kind of really push on and kind of really go for it.
Dad O'Hagan was saying to me after the match on Sunday, I spoke with him, and he was saying that, obviously he's one of the new crop that has come up, and he was talking about, we were talking about the great achievement on Sunday, and he was saying like that there's something that has been targeted back to as far back as the intermediate days.
Yeah, like, when that cohort of the team, like, when was it? It was 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, those boys were really kind of stepping in. They were young when they came into the team, but we always knew they had the quality. They had as I said earlier, the mentality that they don't lose. I was talking to actually Dara Bridgman, and he was telling me that I don't think they only lost one championship match in the space of 4 years, and that was their minor county final. Like, having the ability to do that and have the mentality that we just don't lose games and when they came into the intermediate team, we were like, geez, these boys are confident. I don't think I ever played with a cohort that were this confident coming in, and seeing young fellas come in with this confidence, it was the kind of like, geez, we need to push on. We need to kind of improve our training, improve our tactics, and keep that mentality of we don't lose for those young boys, and really inspire the older lads as well to kind of try to gain that.
Brendan, when you started out, I think Mungret was a completely different club in a lot of ways. Now, I know that some of the values are still the same, but it certainly looks different physically on the ground, and it certainly feels differently now from the outside looking in. Can you believe the transformation? I know your brothers would have been lining out with you before that. I know people will know your sisters as well from their exploits with Limerick and indeed with Mungret. Can you believe this transformation in both codes, but particularly now in football, that you're actually top of the mountain locally,
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I remember going down to the village field training, and now having 2 AstroTurfs, floodlights on the AstroTurf, brand new field just after being opened a couple of weeks ago. Like, the facilities are really growing. I know the community's growing as well, especially with the new schools that are going in there too. But like, the community is growing as a whole, and using those facilities to really advance us into county finals, semi-finals in both codes as well. Like getting promoted into hurling there a couple of years ago, winning the intermediate, and then moving on to Munster Championship or Premier Intermediate, and moving on to Munster Championship then as well. Like, you can see it really growing in both codes. We were just lucky in the football to really kind of push on and set a good standard and win the senior county championship in football. Hopefully we will advance then into the hurling then as well. Yeah, you mentioned I suppose the place itself, Mungret and Jordoyle and all that expanding, and with it obviously will come new people and new I suppose a new headache of a lot of talent. But then nevertheless, you still marched up through the village with flares. I think at the weekend that village, while it has changed as well aesthetically, it's still very much Mungret village, and there is still that link, and the club is still built around a lot of families, I suppose your own included, but there still is a lot of families that identity hasn't been lost either in the last maybe decade or two, when there has been a new influx of people, that there still is the familiar names that we associate with the club. Yeah, like the community is getting bigger, but the village will never change. The village will always be Mungret village. The culture that it has is ridiculous, and everybody that's in the community knows the culture in the village of Mungret. We still see ourselves as a small village, but what's growing the outskirts of the village is really kind of transferring into the club. So it's brilliant to see, but that culture of that Mungret village will always stay. Yeah, it's a fantastic achievement, obviously, to get a first county. It brings with it now as well a Munster club
game with Dingle. I think it might be fixed for Aston Thack Park in Tralee, but again, to be going up against one of the leading names, I know that it's been a long while since they represented Kerry as well, but being up against a name like Dingle, you know, the O'Sheas and the Gainies and a club like that, that's kind of new ground for the club, and it's an exciting prospect as a player, I'm sure.
100%. Like, we see it, like, we've nothing to lose. Like, we're going out there. We're not going to change any strategies. We're not going to change any parts of our football. We're just going to go out and play. Like, a quote that Pat Rannan loves to say is, we're playing with house money now. So, like, we've got where we wanted to do, or we've got what we want to do. Win the county championship. Like, we'll give it our all. Like, we're representing Limerick now, so we don't feel obviously we know that the quality is there, but playing against them will be a great experience as well, and it's definitely something that I'll treasure and take with me as well.
Yeah, Matt.
If we could just go back in time a small bit, Brendan, and last year, by any yardstick, for a team that was promoted, it was fantastic for Mungret. 5 straight wins in the group stage, lost the county final by a point. He must have come into this year's competition. Absolutely. Sorry? 2 points, was it? Semi-final.
Yeah.
By a point to Father Casey's. You must have come into this year's full of confidence. What was the thought process after losing to Newcastle West in the first round?
Like, we knew it was our first time kind of playing Newcastle West in senior football, well, for me anyway, and like, knowing that the quality that they have, the experience that they have, like, it was a big step up for us. They were the king. We saw them as like the kings of Limerick. Like, they were going to be the strong team. They're going to be the physical team. Losing by a point to them, do you know what? I actually think it actually gave us a lot.
Did you know harm in the long run? Did it? Sorry? Did you know harm in the long run? Is what I'm saying. You know, it's sometimes, you know, I know hindsight is 2020, but probably no harm, and it meant that you had to go and win the rest of the games to make sure you got through. You know. There was no messing around from there on, really.
Like, we lost by a point. Like, it was an extremely good game. Like, it was probably one of the best games of football that I was involved in, that first group stage.
It was the best game for some time, Brendan. It was an absolutely classic game of football.
Yeah, like, even the standards of scores that were scored, it was incredible. It really, really stood to us then as we went on through the championship. We were like, we know we have to win the rest of these games now to get through. We got through to the quarterfinal then, and like, even going through that quarterfinal, it was a really tough game to finish with. Like, even finishing with 12 men, like, in a 15-a-side game, it really stood to us. Like, and then trying to have the three up and we're standing on the halfway line, looking back and seeing the boys under pressure. It really kind of stood to us, and then I think that really benefited us as we went through. But to finish a county quarterfinal with 12 men with 3 black cards, it was just.
You were dead in line. You were dead in line with me. You were not able to do much in the last few minutes, the same as myself.
Yeah, kicking against the breeze and just watching the boys struggling. Like, but they pulled it out. It was an incredible performance by the boys in the back.
But even that day, you got a couple of scores against the Breeze, and Monleen had struggled to score against the Breeze in the first half. You picked off a few great scores, and I mean great in terms of how you moved the ball, and that they were very, very valuable in the wind up, because Monleen obviously kept going right till the end, and you know, it was a 2 points in the end, and you had just about done enough to be in a substantial enough lead, because you know, a play or two more and they were going to kick a 2-pointer or a goal, and you saw some of those scores probably testified what the group was all about, carrying the ball into that wind, working 3 or 4 short passes and eventually knocking over a score. They were very, very important in the finish.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, we kind of always see ourselves as, we kind of tend to play better football when we're playing against the Breeze. We work the ball a lot better. We don't try force anything then, because, you know, if you have the Breeze, you have that extra couple of yards to maybe shoot for score. But playing against the Breeze, we kind of work the ball a lot better, bring the ball back around, recycle the ball, and just go for it then again. Wait for the gaps and just attack the gaps.
Brendan, is this the dawning of a new era in Limerick football? There are a lot of similarities with when Adair broke through.
You'd love to think so. I really think it is. Like, what I see, one of the articles there, one of the other boys saying is, we're here to take over now. So
Ian Ryan, I think it was, yeah.
Ian Ryan, yeah.
He could live or die by those words, but anyway.
But we're definitely here. We're definitely here. Mungret's definitely here, and the quality's definitely coming through. So hopefully we won't have any more people writing us off going into county championships, and really kind of start to back us and see us as a club coming through. So winning the intermediate and the senior in the space of 3 years, it's really showing them now that we're here. Look at us, and you need to try dethrone us now, please.
Talk to us about your captain, the man from Mayo, and your management team.
Oh, like John is an absolute legend. I was in Dublin when John actually transferred down. So I actually wasn't playing football for those 3 years. So when I came back down from Dublin and started teaching locally here, it was my pleasure to kind of get to know him a bit better. And the man never seems to surprise me. He is an absolute talent. It was such an advantage of us to kind of get such a experienced footballer coming down from Mayo into us, trying to lead us, and then the privilege of having him as a captain now it's insane. And like our management team, they never leave us with anything. As in, like, if we ever want anything, they get us first. Like physios, nutrition, everything, even sorting out video analysis, like. The amount of time that Pat Rannon puts in the background doing video analysis for us, it's insane. Like he's top class. When he came in, it was an experience for me, because even him pushing the younger lads coming through was inspiring me, and I was kind of like, geez, I need to try to keep my position here. Like it was Pat coming in, and then Kevin, such an incredible man manager. Like he loves the club. He bleeds Mungret. Like he's an inspiration. Billy Mangan then and Sean Ahern, like they're all involved. They're always with us. They're never not down training with us, and like they inspire us. Like we want to win it for them, because they love the game, they love Mungret, and they want us to win. So we just try to do it for them.
I think John Hutton referenced it actually in his acceptance speech about Kevin O'Hagan and his attention to detail of the players' every need and want. Which was a lovely sentiment to express.
Yeah, and I completely back it. Like he didn't pull that out of thin air. Like Kevin is incredible. Like the passion he shows, he's the most passionate man about Mungret football that I've ever seen. Like he when he comes into the dressing room, like he's very, very quick to get emotional, and when he gets emotional, we're all behind him. Like we're backing him. It's inspiring to see it, and he really, really loves Mungret football, and he loves us as a bunch of lads as well, and we all love him as well.
He wanted he wanted to play every week early in the championship. He was bemoaning the kind of stop-start nature when there was a game in July, a game in August, September. I don't know now after all the celebrations would he want you to be going again next week, but or this week.
No, he's definitely a man that needs a week of a break now, so he's definitely a man that will cherish the week of a break. So he's so proud of us as a team, and we're all proud of him to get us so far as well.
But at least you have an opportunity of a 2-week break, unlike last year. I think, in fairness, it was right of the Munster Council to give the Limerick clubs a bye to the semi-final in view of having reached the Tailteann Cup final. I thought that was a good idea, because last year Limerick clubs were absolutely dogged by being going out the week after they're winning their respective county championships. Doon went out, Adair went out, Rathkeale went out. Nearly every one of them went out.
They all went out. Yeah. They all went out in their first hurdle, and they all played a week. 5 of the 6 played a week after the county final. So thankfully that's not an issue for any of the clubs this year, you know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the format of the Limerick Football Championship, Brendan? You've been through it for quite a bit now, and more so, you've been through the Intermediate Championship for a while, which in my opinion is not fit for purpose, the Intermediate Championship. Yeah,
trying to, fortunately I was playing both codes, it was week on week for me, but the gap between the football games was a bit scandalous. There was definitely area there for improvement, but look, as a player, I listen to the fixtures and I go, right, when are we out again? It's not it's not for me to be giving out about how the way the fixtures are lying. It's just I put on my jersey, put on my shorts and boots like everyone else, and we go, right, this is what we need to do.
Have boots and play football.
Yeah.
So, like, I suppose we were slagging you maybe, or you're slagging yourself even about the age, but overall, like, joking aside, the age profile of this team will suggest that it'll be here for a while yet, and there's probably a little bit more coming. You mentioned the minors there. I know even there's a Cathal O'Lungig, the captain there, you know, he's a great talent. He's played a bit this year, and I'm sure there's a couple more given a year or two now in with your junior team, or indeed in with this team. There's probably nothing to hold this team back in terms of being at the very business end of the championship for the foreseeable.
No, like it's myself and John. Myself and John are 33. Next down is Killian Ryan, and then I think the next youngest on the starting team currently is 25. So like it's a very, very young profile there, and they've developed their experience now. Like those boys will be playing years past me now. Like so. I'll be going to the sideline up to the hill, and I'll be watching these boys just kind of. I remember playing with them a couple of years ago, but like the age profile is ridiculous, and then the boys that are coming through, even the couple of footballers inside the school, like playing schools match today, the quality that they have coming through as well is like they'll start slotting into this team, they'll start developing, they'll be experienced footballers in a couple of years' time. So it is good. It is absolutely brilliant to see.
The rest of them have no hope, Matt. That's what I'm reading from that.
Fingers crossed.
I'm fairly convinced after the last 2 years, what we've seen in the last 2 years, that there is the dawning of a new era here in Limerick football. There is a new dominant force about to emerge. I'm quite, because I see the similarities with Adair. There are an awful lot of similarities when Adair won their first title and what they have built on since, and a lot of it was grounded on underage. And like Mungret's underage, like is the envy of the whole county, and like it's the envy of the county for a reason. And I see people, you know, jealous of it, but 'tis the product. That Mungret underage is the product of hard work, creating the environment where young players and young boys and girls want to play sport. And you can see the wonderful facility that they have down there. And Brendan referenced it about the new pitch. Absolutely fantastic. Just fantastic. And the two new AstroTurfs. They have the work put in, Tom. And anything that Mungret are getting is a reward for the effort that they have put in. And I think there's huge credit due to Mungret. And this is not my first time saying that. You know, this is just the icing on the cake for now, but there's going to be a lot more icing coming, I think.
Yeah, I referenced it Sunday on the commentary, even to have the Camogie team promoted this year. It's a club that even the ladies football last year when they all learned, it's a club that hasn't ignored any code or any gender or anything like that. And I think a few more clubs, and while they may not get the same success, should probably embrace that a bit more themselves, because you see it in the sport. Even you know, Brendan, on at the weekend, everyone is out. It isn't just the lads that play hurling or that are supporting the footballers or whatever. Everyone in the club seems to come out and support. And you know, it's the one club policy that was adopted. I don't know I'm not sure who the chairman was at the time. Was it
I think Mungret were the first, Brendan, to embrace the one club facility, or the one club. And it seems to be working and working very well. I remember being in Mungret the day that Piershig and Who played Kildimo Palace Kinry in the relegation semi-final. And there was a number of Mungret people around the place. They couldn't wait to get to Cappamore to see the junior Camogies in action. And that just bears out what you're saying, Tom. It's all together and one for all in Mungret, and that's just one of the many ingredients of the success.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's like you can see it building as a club. Like I know it's that the one club aspect is it's excellent. Like we all try to go to every coach, try to watch the matches, try to get out and support each other as a team. Like it's a community. Like it's really, really developing, and it is bringing that success, and hopefully continue to bring that success as well in the future, in all codes, in all games.
Yeah, very good. Well, the rest of the county take note and be feared, but I think you're here to stay. That's for sure. And I suppose it's probably only a matter of time now before the hurling will follow suit. But for now, you're down in the pack, as I say. But look, it's going to be making an interesting few years on the pitch for the club, and as the off-field facilities continue to grow as well. So, Brendan, we're wishing you the best of luck representing Limerick, as you say, in Munster, and enjoy the celebrations, whatever is left of them, and if the lads are still standing when they can go back training later in the week, fair play to them. But best of luck against Dingle, and hopefully that red and white of Mungret will fly into the next round as well. It would be great. It would be fantastic for Limerick to see that as well.
I concur with everything that Tom has said. Thanks for coming on, Brenton. Congratulations again on Mungret's victory. Congratulations on the only 2-pointer of the county final. Remember that.
The first and only, yeah.
What a crucial 2-pointer it was. But congratulations, and the very, very best of luck against Dingle, and indeed the very best of luck, hopefully, for the entire Munster Championship.
That's it. Actually, just while we're looking at your lovely moustache, Brendan, you did say to me there that you're doing a bit of fundraising there. Now we won't comment on the moustache too much, but you're doing some very important charity fundraising this month as a team, I think, or as a club, is it? So
yeah,
just give that a bit of a plug there.
More for Joe, I think.
Sorry?
More for Joe, is it?
More for Joe, yeah. So hopefully I'll have a moustache like yours, Matt, at some stage.
It's very grey now, Brendan.
It's the thickness, mate. So we're doing a grow more for Joe. So unfortunately, a couple of years ago, we would have lost a massive club man, Joe Harrington, and his son is actually playing in the team, Liam Harrington. So we're doing a grow for more for Joe. It's just a fundraiser there for Milford Hospice, and I'm actually doing it as well for the Jack and Jill Foundation with Mungret Community College there at the school as well. So if anybody would like to donate to either cause, it would absolutely be brilliant, and really appreciate it as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and I'd say you can't wait to get it off, but for good reason. Keep it on for another 3 weeks or thereabouts. So anyway, we'll see how it is in the wind up. Brendan, thanks a million for joining us, and thanks for your time this evening. And I'm sure we'll be chatting to you again in the next few weeks. All right.
Yeah. Thanks a million, guys.
Thanks very much, Brendan.
Thank you.
Right. Slangafol. Yeah, great to have him on there, Matt. And
absolutely. And what a point, Tom, and what a career actually. With both hurling and football with Mungret St. Paul's, he has a long career, and it's great to see a guy like that reaping the rewards. And he has been through the evolution of Mungret. And like when the late John O'Grady passed away, and I was doing a piece about him, it gave me a great sense of where Mungret were and where they are now. Because when John was a minor, he had to play with I think he played hurling with Young Ireland's, minor hurling, and minor football with commercials. There was no minor team in Mungret. What a transformation that there is today.
It just simply would not and cannot happen now, because they potentially could field 2 minor teams in any given year as well,
Like Mungret St. Paul's, Tom, are in all the underage, they're fielding 2 teams.
Yeah, up as far as minor, as far as I know.
And that's the point I made, or was trying to make there, about creating the environment and the opportunity for young players to be the best they can. And young players, they see this thing and they buy into it very, very, very quickly. And Mungret St. Paul's have created that environment where the young players want to play Gaelic games, and they want to be part of the Mungret Crusade, because they see it only going one way, going in the right direction. And like, here is a club where they have three of the 4 codes, Tom. They are senior hurling, senior football, senior ladies football. And Tom, it will not be too long before there'll be senior camogie.
Yeah, I don't think there's any club can claim all 4 at the moment, is there? From what I gather, I know. No, there's been a few that have come close. I think the Pearshik were probably close there at one point, but have obviously been relegated now in football, men's football, and were relegated in camogie as well. So it's not an easy thing to achieve, but I think Mungret will go close to it in the next little while. Matt, we should move on to the intermediate final. I know you were at this one earlier in Rathkeale it was in the Bog Garden on Sunday afternoon. Despite a strong start from St. Senan's, Askeaton, Ballysteen, Kilcornan streaked away for this one, and I suppose a return for the club. I know they've kind of changed name and all that, but it is basically the same club. A return to them to the senior ranks after just a year away.
Yeah, basically it is the same club. All it's doing now is embracing the names of its catchment area. It was always Askeaton, Ballysteen, and Askeaton, Ballysteen, Kilcornan now, and yeah, Tom, look, they were emphatic winners. The scoreboard doesn't lie there. We got a brilliant start in that. Killian Meade had a goal for St. Sinans after 35 seconds, and it was well worked by Oisin O'Farrell. Now, the irony about it is, Tom, and Oisin O'Farrell, he plays his hurling with ABK. So that was one of the subplots. Now, I thought his football performance on Sunday, Tom, was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding, and he played right to the very end. But then ABK took over. Danny Neville at centre forward was like the master puppeteer, pulling all the strings. You had Joey Rush, brilliant form, Padraig Murphy in brilliant form, Paul O'Shaughnessy got a goal, and not an easy goal now. He had a lot of work to do before he lashed it into the net. The upshot of it all was by half-time they had extended it to 8 points, the lead. They had recovered from being a goal down after 35 seconds to lead 1-11 to 1-3 at half-time. ABK made it 9 points quickly after half-time. But then Killian Meade got a goal, his second goal. And we had a point then from, I think it was Oisin Farrell. I'm not 100% sure, but got the point.
Back to 5, though, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was back to 5, and you had a goal and a point in about 2 minutes. And you said to yourself, yeah, the momentum is just swinging back for St. Sinans. But ABK were having none of it, Tom. They just drove on, and they got a great goal. Like, there was good build-up play for Joey Rush to hammer the ball into the net, and it was game, set, and match at that stage. And it ended 2-15 to 2-7. And I think St. Sinans can have very few complaints, Tom. I think ABK were the better team. I saw them in the league final, Tom, and I thought that particular day they beat Galbally, or Galbally beat them by a point in the final. And I said there was a strong possibility that we may be looking at a potential county championship final. Now, as it happened, St. Sinans and Galbally met in the semi-final, and our ABK and Galbally met in the semi-final, and ABK reversed that result. And yeah, look, I've a sense that it is where they belong. Now, spare a thought, Tom, for 4 players. The last time that ABK, as Ballysteen, won the Limerick Senior Football Championship was in 2008.
You mean the intermediate championship?
Oh, sorry, the intermediate championship was in 2008. They were captained then by Anthony Ryan, and Anthony was the team coach last Sunday. But there were 4 players, Shane Gallagher, Mark Ranahan, Shane Hallinan, and Sean Whelan, who bridged that 17 years, who were all involved in 2008 and picked up their second county intermediate medals last Sunday. So huge credit to the lads now.
And Shane Gallagher is 41 and the chairman as well, I believe. So
well, look, he doesn't look it, and he certainly doesn't play like he's 41 because he made a contribution. And like, when you just think of the contribution that Shane has made to his county in the intervening years, has been absolutely phenomenal. And Shane lined out at midfield.
Yeah, and I think he played nearly the whole game, didn't he, before being withdrawn late in the piece. They were also missing, I think, Owen Condon and David O'Shaughnessy. I think David O'Shaughnessy
was missing Owen Condon and David O'Shaughnessy.
Two of them suffered crucial injuries as far as I know. So,
yes, no, you have to spare a thought for David O'Shaughnessy, who is only just back. And to have it happen again. And also St. Sinans were without Cormac Wolfe.
Yeah, they're one of their two county men, so a big absentee in the day.
We did say in our preview, and we did say on the commentary pre-match, that a lot would contain a lot of how the game would be decided and how, who would prevail would depend on how the respective centre forwards were dealt with. We were looking at James Norton for St. Sinans and Danny Neville, and on the day the honours went to Danny Neville, because St. Sinans found it very, very, very hard to deal with his movement and his pace and his guile, Tom. And he was rightly named man of the match after, because county final day, Tom, big players, you want them to stand up. And Danny certainly stood up for ABK. But Tom, you can only just imagine about ABK with Danny at centre forward, and your two excellent corner forwards in Joey Rush and in Padraig Murphy, who played minor and under 20 with the county for the last couple of years. Just imagine if David O'Shaughnessy was among them.
Yeah, I think
David scored 2-9 in the league final.
Yeah, it's a frightening prospect. They've always had quality forwards. Obviously, Danny being the kind of main man for that for the last decade. But yeah, the likes of Joey, and Padraig Murphy really coming along. And I know Joey plays an awful lot of soccer, but I tell you, he's a dead sort as well of an option to have in a Gaelic football team as well. So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I think he ended up with a goal and something like a goal and 6 points.
Yeah, that's some shooting in any day.
Get a goal and 6 points in the county final, Tom.
And you're not man of the match. I tell you, Danny Neville must have been good. So if you didn't get man of the match after that, but they're probably, look, it's easy at this remove to say they're well prepped for senior football, but they probably are that little bit better suited. The likes of, as you say, Padraig Murphy is that bit older and a bit wiser, and there's a few more there. Sam Colgan, I know, is another younger.
Yeah, had a very good game, Sam Colgan at wing back, and
they're probably a bit better prepared now.
Well, had a good game. You could, they all rose to the occasion.
Yeah, they did. They have Munster Club. Is it on Sunday week or Saturday week? I'm not sure.
Saturday or Sunday week against Ahablog, I think.
Right. And they're away from home in that one as well. So look, that's in Cork. Sorry if people don't know where that is. The venue, I think, was TBC last I checked, but they'll be heading for somewhere in Cork. No, TBC. Our famous venue.
Oh, TBC. Oh,
yeah. I think there's a couple of different venues likely, but nothing confirmed.
I thought that was a Camogie venue.
They're barring it for the week, but anyway, so congratulations, I suppose, to Declan Ryan, the manager, Alan McGrath, the captain, and everyone involved there. So Skeeton, Ballysteen, Kilcorn, and Sporting, slightly different colours than last time, slightly different name as well, but they're heading back to the senior ranks. And I suppose someone did say to me that they're taking in 3 areas. Obviously, St. Zenon's takes in 2 areas in Shannagolden and Fines. I would say Kilcorn has a very, very small population, and some of the population are already playing with Killarn Pallaskenry as well, so it's kind of, it's not 3 huge areas that they're encompassing there.
It was an estuary derby, Tom.
Yeah, it was, and they nearly all know each other from school, if not from hurling or soccer or rugby or anything else. I don't think there's a player that wouldn't know each other on the pitch. So it was an interesting dynamic, but it didn't really live up to that derby feel with one considerable.
No. And the minute St. Sinans got the goal, you sense that we're in for a cracker here now, because ABK have to go after it, and by God did they go after it.
Yeah.
But Tom, I know it's poor consolation to St. Sinans, but a couple of St. Sinans personnel have been blazing a trail in the last couple of weeks, and I'd like to mention Andrew Lane, and we'll be talking about him shortly again, because he was the coach of Camogue Rovers, who won their first county in 100 years, and Joey O'Hanlon is the manager, a native of Fines and now living in Buttevant, is the manager, and Ian Ryan, the former Limerick and St. Sinans player, is the coach of the Buttevant team, who won the Cork Junior Championship for the first time in 99 years recently.
Right.
And they played Shamrocks from Waterford in the first round of the Munster Championship last Saturday and won by 25 points. and then will now be facing a Han in the Munster semi-final in Kildare. I'm not sure whether to Saturday or Sunday week.
I think the junior games are nearly always Saturday, so I think it's going to be Saturday week. But that brings us
in Kildare, and they're usually at 1:30, I think.
Yeah, brings us nicely towards the junior Premier Junior rank, the third tier as it was, and Ahan, as you said there, Matt, we already knew they were representing Limerick, but they will do so now as champions thanks to a 10 points 9-9 victory over Father Casey's. Now, before we say anything about the game, there's a video that has kind of gone semi-viral, and a few people did contact me. The pitch in Askeaton was probably not. I would say probably definitely not befitting of a county final, and probably one of the reasons, as well as the weather, that we had such a low scoring game. Very soft underfoot, a complete mud bat really. And I know we're in November, so I'm not having a go at anyone from Askeaton for that. But disappointing maybe that the main game of the whole season for this grade was played on a pitch that probably didn't fit the bill. But it probably will matter little to a hand, because they obviously got over the line despite a spirited comeback from Father Casey's.
Yeah, it's fantastic. These are heady days for a hand football. Junior A champions last year, Premier champions this year, Premier Junior champions this year, Minor A champions this year. So the big ball code is not being certainly neglected in a hand. They're coming up through it, and like they're a very, very interesting team. Last year they had a stellar team in many ways, in that they had 3 rugby internationals. Sean Cronin, who's been capped 72 times for Ireland, Ian Keatley and Tom O'Donnell, plus an all-star nominee in Gary Brennan. Now that has been whittled down to 2 this year, because Gary Brennan is the manager and Tommy O'Donnell is not playing, but Ian Keatley, I think, missed the final actually through injury.
Yeah, it was tagged out but did not feature. Yeah, so Sean Cronin was ploughing a lone furrow of that quartet, like so. Yeah. But yeah, I think he did a strong enough game at centre back by all accounts.
He did not let the side down, I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think they led 7-2, was it, at halftime? And
they led 7-2 at halftime, and Casey's really came back at him in the second half. I think Casey's got to level at one stage, or
I think maybe back to a point. I think back to a point, and then it went out to 3 again, and Casey's
went out to 3. That's it.
Yeah,
and Casey's back to a point. Back to 1 again. So yeah, look, it had all the ingredients of it on a good day, but I'm very low, Tom, and very slow to criticise venues at this time of the year. The amount of rain, Tom, that has fallen is just...
No, I just think absolutely. I'm not criticising the venue as such. I think we should have maybe just found an alternate venue, because we probably knew early last week that this pitch was probably going to be under pressure. And I would say we had an intermediate final there involving Mungret a couple of years ago. Very heavy underfoot conditions. So look,
but in general, the underfoot conditions were heavy and playing heavy, and that is even more credit to Mungret St. Paul's, because no matter, Tom, how dry a pitch looks, it's playing heavy at this time of the year. And McNeville Park played heavy to a certain degree on Sunday.
Yeah, but it pales in comparison to what I saw from
I know
from the other one. But anyway, look, it as I say, it looks like it passed off without incident in that regard, and it's a hand.
And Sean Finn Park on Sunday, Tom, was as good as anyone could have expected with the amount of rain that fell.
Yeah, a hand get the spoils anyway at Premier Junior level. And look, back-to-back promotions. I saw Gary Brennan referencing that they had, I suppose, got some very important scores early in the campaign. They only came out of the group in third, I gather. I think they
third place, yeah, absolutely.
2 draws as well in there. I think two wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. I think was that their lot in the group, and weren't a million miles away from being knocked out. But have obviously timed their run nicely and beat Croom in the last 4 after I can't remember who they beat in the quarterfinal, but beating Croom in the last 4, and obviously then a bit like last year, squeezing out a county final by a score as they did against Camogue Rovers. And it's a club with a famed history in football going back a long while. That's 70 or 80 years.
In the 30s, they won 4 or 5 in a row, Tom.
I suppose
that would have included 3 or 4 county senior doubles.
Yeah, it would indeed with the Mackeys and the Powers of this world and the rest. Yeah, but look, they're heading.
There is a tradition of football in a hand.
Yeah, and I know people will quickly point to Gary Brennan, but they have been motoring nicely at underage and 19s and 20s in the last few seasons, and starting to pick up the odd title here or there. So they've had players on the county teams as well in football. So I think
Jack
we'll
Butler
hear.
was in Jimmy Lee's panel this year, like so. That's the information that I have as well, Tom. That there is a vibrant underage structure emerging in Ahan in football.
Yeah.
Oh, it's there in hurling as well, because they've been there or thereabouts, if you like, in minor and under 20, and in hurling usually a premier.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
to
Yeah,
see
she
him in
lost the minor
football now
final this
coming
year.
up and winning a minor A title, it augurs well, Tom.
It does indeed. Yeah, I think they'll be more than capable for the intermediate grade. And look, they have that magic M word that I often use, momentum. So they'll be looking to capitalise on that at the intermediate grade next season.
Tom, Ahan will survive in the Limerick Intermediate Football Championship. There's no question.
They might do more than survive. They might thrive. You don't know. We'll see.
And that's if there are not overdue changes to the structure of it, and still it won't affect them.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. They're more than capable. We will move to this the two Anthonys down in the lower grade. The two Anthonys being Anthony Punch and Anthony Nealon, the first men to collect as joint captains to collect a county championship title for Camogue Rovers. And as I reminded people last week, Camogue Rovers is in the village of Miannis, and it encompasses Grange and Bruff, the wider parish, but have predominantly pulled from the Miannis direction. And finally, after all the years of soldiering, they have their title in the form of the Junior A Football Championship. It had to go to extra time. They had to get the levelling score, but they kicked for home, Matt, in I think the first period of extra time, and they were well clear of it there then for a finish. And finally they get their day.
Yeah, they had the game won and they had the game lost, and it eventually went. And in like Napirsik, like in the county final, they made the first period of extra time count. When they outscored it, they are 6 points to no score, 6 unanswered points.
Yeah, six white flags in a row, isn't it?
6 white flags, and right at the end of the first period of extra time, they were awarded a penalty, and Anthony Nealon was quite happy to put it over the bar because he knew that it was going to give him a 6 point cushion. Now, Adair did get a goal through Garrett Sparling in the second half, but and it brought it down to 3 points at one stage. But Camogue Rovers drove on again, and when Shane Lyons in the 9th minute of the second period of extra time crashed the ball to the net, all hell broke loose nearly with jubilation, because it was deal done as far as Camogue Rovers were concerned. 100 years of heartbreak and 100 years of wait and near misses, and we're all going to be banished in one glorious couple of minutes. But it was, and I don't think there's anybody, Tom, would begrudge it to them. They lost the 2021 final to Fina Kilmeady, lost the 2023 final to Mungret St. Paul's, lost the 2024 final by a single point to Ahan.
Yeah.
And is there a little irony in it that the day that they won the junior championship, Ahan won the premier?
Yeah, by a point as well, yeah. It's,
and it was something after the game that Andrew Lane pointed out to me. Andrew, who I referenced there, came in as coach this year with William Coffey as the manager, and Gary McCarthy and Evan Mulcahy and Sean Ryan and the lads. They have done Trojan work, and I've seen it over the years, Tom, in my days as secretary of the board, and I've seen the near misses for Camogue Rovers, and I've seen the heartbreak that they have endured. And there are few clubs that would keep bouncing back, they did. And last Saturday was a glorious day for them in Kilmallock, and I think they richly, richly deserved it. Now, Anthony Nealon, Anthony Punch went off at half time, Tom.
Right.
And he was doubtful before the game. He got injured in the semi-final and was doubtful. But by God, did Anthony Nealon lead from the front in those closing stages. And they had the luxury, Tom, late in normal time, of bringing on Michael O'Donnell. Brought him on centre back. Absolutely outstanding. Now, Michael O'Donnell, who's Michael O'Donnell? He's well known locally as the jeweler, and he has been outstanding for Camogue Rovers. He has soldiered for Camogue Rovers for so long, but because of work commitments, he wasn't able to give the same level of commitment this year. But by God, did they spring him off the bench, and by God, did he make an impact.
The jeweler in the crown, I suppose, is it, or something like that?
Absolutely, or the jewel in the crown, or yeah, absolutely excellent. But congratulations to Camogue. Celebrations won't end in Camogue till about March, but
well, they've no Munster club to worry about, so they're well entitled to it. But
we'll forgive them for that.
Yeah, no, and I know we actually played them in a challenge match in the middle of the season, and they were very, very impressive. They absolutely hammered us that evening, actually.
Yeah.
Willie
Coffey is so passionate about it, and Willie lives in Rathkeale and has won county medals with Rathkeale. But a Camogue Rovers man to the hilt, so and he's 5 years at it there now. And just think, the credit that must go to Willie in those 5 years. He has guided his team to 4 county finals.
Yeah, and finally getting over the line. That's very impressive.
Finally getting over the line. After 2 or 3, there's so many would have given up, but not Willie Coffey.
Yeah, that's very true.
He went to the well once more, and he has been, and it's no secret, he has been 3 years trying to get Andrew Lane on board.
Right.
What a difference Andrew made.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So they've got
and of course, we all know Andrew gave great service to Limerick.
Yeah, he did indeed. St. Senan's man, yeah. He's been a renowned coach, I think, at different clubs at different times around the county as well. And I think he's involved with one of the underage teams with Limerick in recent times.
He's involved with the Limerick under 20 team.
20s, that's it. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Now, to the main part of the podcast, the Junior B chat.
Junior C final, yeah.
You can't skip over that easy now, Matt, But anyway, Junior B.
This is the part of the podcast that I dread.
You dread? Matt, that's a disgrace. Now, after all we've been through,
Tom, on behalf of all our viewers, all our listeners, Treaty Talk fans everywhere, heartiest congratulations. You've emblazoned your name in the history of Camogue, of Knockany football forever, as the man that kicked the winning point in the last minute of extra time to claim a county football title. How does it feel? Let me ask the questions.
That's a fair point, yeah. Well, it feels good, because at the end of the day, I only joined the club this year. I did not know would we even win a game. We didn't win a game in the league. And, on Saturday, I actually didn't feel, it might sound bizarre, but because I'm not playing for my home club, it didn't feel the same, and it probably felt a little bit less pressure than if I was playing for Ballybrown, and I don't know why that is, but it's just the natural course of things that I feel, But yeah, it was a nice way to finish it, to say the least. If you were to script something for yourself, not that I would, but if you were, that's probably how you would do it. We are one of our subs, Aidan O'Riordan, made a great burst. He was pulled back, definitely a foul. And I think Rory and Pa Rail, I think Rory is in a bit of bother with cramp. Pa was fairly gassed out as well. I kind of saw them tentatively looking at it, but I said, you know what, I'm going to go up here and have a look. And by the time I got up, actually, the ball was an awful lot closer to the goals than I thought. So immediately I was a lot calmer because, it wasn't actually that far.
Your Cluxton moment.
Well, there you go. That's it. The Cluxton moment. A few people have said that this week. I think the Cluxton kick was a little bit more pressure and probably a little bit further from goal. But nevertheless, I struck it over. And I think Knock-On had one more chance. They had one more free on the halfway line. And I think they coughed up possession. And Mikey Brown called a halt. But actually, the game itself, Matt, I know we're kind of slagging and joking between us here, but the game itself actually was quite good. Overall, it was relatively low scoring in the conditions. But in fairness, we went 5-2 up at half time. Then we scored a goal basically after the throw in to go 6 up. And in fairness to Knock-On, they fought their way back. I think they got 2 2-pointers in the second half, a couple of frees. They actually went 1 ahead late on until Pa Rail knocked over his only scored a game, which was a 20-metre free to force extra time. And even again, we went 5 clear this occasion. And
they did a 5 clear at half time in extra time, was it?
Yeah. No, there was a strong breeze down from, I suppose, down towards the soccer pitch in Martinstown, if people would know it. Rory Rail kicked 2 incredible incredible 2-pointers in the game, one of them in extra time, but that was after we had got the goal through as you Emmanuel know from Bruff Rugby in Mikey O'Grady, a really talented player, I'd say, at any sport. He put a goal.
Oh, absolutely. Very good hurler, played minor hurling with Limerick and plays on the wing for the Bruff senior team at the moment.
Yeah, so he scored a goal about 15 or 20 seconds into extra time. Then the 2-pointers I mentioned from Rory, 5 up, and you kind of think you're well placed. Not a bit of it. Knock on, came back, got it back to 3, got a stonewall penalty, which I was beaten by, no problem. Vinnie Ryan dispatched it to the net. And I think more or less from the next play, or maybe the play after, we got that
Did
free.
you go the wrong way, Tom, or what was it?
No, I went the right way. Just I have inability to save it, so that was simple as that. So basically, from the next play, we got the free, and over she went. But I think the club, I didn't realise it until during the week, and I actually wrote the preview in the programme about the junior finals. Now my name wasn't on it, but I did write the preview, and I was looking through all the junior teams and their history and what they'd won or not won. And Knockany have been in existence, Matt, 89 years. It's on the jersey. It's actually on the sleeve, 1936. And they've won very little. And they've won very little in recent times as well. I know they were strong in the 90s, coming up the ranks in hurling, but they hadn't won any title at adult level since 2005, which was also the Junior B title. So, I mean, it's a special day it has to be a special day for any club, but a special day for a club like Knockany.
Somebody told me in the week, Tom, since the game, that it was only their 4th county ever. No,
I think that's a bit wide. It's only the 3rd county title in football. I think they won a Junior A football when it was only the only grade in football, the only junior grade, and then the Junior B.
I remember that Junior B.
There's maybe 5 or 6 hurling titles there down the years. I don't have the number to hand now, but there would be an intermediate.
I thought it was wide of the mark myself.
Yeah, you can count them on 2 hands.
I wasn't in a position at that stage, nor still am not in a position to contradict it, because I just have to go through my records here to see it. And
you can count them on 2 hands anyway. I think it might be 8 or 9 now between Junior B, hurling, Junior A, intermediate, and a couple of football titles along the way. So, when you look at it, there's only 8 or 9 titles in 90 years. It kind of puts a bit of perspective on it. And not to say that I come from a club that was winning, title after title, but even in recent times, I've seen Ballybrown contest minor finals and win them, and 21s, and even winning the intermediate not a million years ago. Like this club, 20 years and 2 days since Patrick Kirby kicked the winner in the Junior B football final against Knockaderry, another 1-point win as well. So it was a long time coming. Let's put it that way for the club, and 20 years is too long for any club to be starved of silver, but I can tell you the celebrations made up for that,
So you joined an exalted club in Knockany which numbers 2, Patrick Kirby and Tom Clancy.
Yeah,
and
maybe
of course,
so.
We all know
but,
we all know the achievements of Patrick Kirby as both
hurler and football,
an inter-county player, a fantastic inter-county player, and a fantastic colleges player with St. Coleman's and Fermoy. I think he's definitely won a Hartley Cup, if not a Croke Cup as well. Fantastic hurler, and and Patrick Kirby is still playing with Knockany.
He's the intermediate goalkeeper. The season just concluded, and just to mention Shane Walsh as well, Matt. I know I said it to you yesterday. He was actually a starter in 2005, and he came on in extra time when tired bodies were there, and to be involved in 2 counties. I don't think he played much football in between, because Knockany didn't play much football.
No, they didn't. They're like the big thing about it, Tom, and we'll be talking about it in the C one when we move on to it in a few minutes. That's if we move on to it at all tonight. We're so engrossed in the B one, but what's fantastic about it, I think this is only Knockany's 2nd year back, or 3rd.
Yeah, it is. Most. So they won in 2005. I think they got to a Junior A semi-final in 2006, and actually withdrew the team immediately afterwards. So I think there was an awful lot, because they were senior hurling at the time. There was an awful focus on improving their status at senior hurling, which kind of happened for a few years. But so basically 2005, 2006, huge gap to 2024. They played last year, fielded in the South Championship. Mixed results, not overly good, not overly bad. And this season, as I said, a poor league campaign. We only won in the championship itself. We beat Ula the first day, last round 3, and have won every game since. And not exactly the most free scoring team in the knockouts, but my God, very effective. And, you know, like Ger Dunworth, Conor Fitzpatrick had mammoth games, Eamon Carew, Stephen O'Donnell at the back. Like, you know, I didn't have a shot to save Matt in the whole game until that penalty.
It was when the 100 million player came in at the start of the season that changed everything.
Although they started me full forward the first day and I ended up in goals the second day. So, yeah, I don't know what that says, but anyway.
Now, Tom, there's a Munster Club Championship. Any plans to bring Mike Mann on board? There's been
the man that
broke the duck for Limerick in that Junior B Club Championship with Ballybrown.
He could be brought in a consultant's role, but no, that's fixed for January. I'm not sure of the draw, but I do see Croman are in there again, Lawn Rangers, so not their first foray into it, although you know, maybe we'll wear the Ballybrown jerseys just to intimidate them. But no, we'll have to see what the draw comes down to that. And look, Knockany as a club have never played in any Munster Championship, to my knowledge. So they won the intermediate before there was an intermediate Munster clubs, and you know, it should be a big day out when it does come in January, if the weather will allow it anyway. But and it's returning to Knockaderry as well. It's usual home, shall we say, this season. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, but you know, it's absolutely fantastic, and it will tell you, Tom, talking about Knockaderry, and we'll be talking about him more in a minute. But grounds for Munster Clubs Championship matches are really scrutinised for suitability, and it will give you a sense of the massive job that they have done in the Knockaderry pitch. It was on the Knockaderry facilities, because the Junior B Championship has been held in Ballygrand for the last 2 years, while the redevelopment of Knockaderry has been in progress. And full credit to Knockaderry that redevelopment is such that there was at no stage any doubt about their Munster semi-final being on their home ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, full credit to them.
Yeah, we'll come to the actual fixture against Kilbrittain in a second, but just the final word on the from a Knockany point of view. I want to speak about Knock-On as well, but from a Knockany point of view, I know you'll be eulogising Jimmy Barry Murphy of Ballylanders, who came on board in recent months and helped us over the line. And you know, his words of wisdom were very important as the championship wore on. But I think the Leahys of Knockany deserve a mention as well. Fiachra and Keane, the management, Fionn, their younger brother, started, and Dara was in amongst it as well. And
well, of course, Fiachra is Jimmy Barry's brother-in-law.
Yes, indeed, yeah. But like, they actually, as far as I know, the two lads, Keane and Fiachra, resurrected the team last year. Had a bit of, I wouldn't say vision, but had a bit of impetus to get things going. Have kept it going all the way through the year. There was games, Matt, in the league where we struggled to have 15. They played challenge matches. We played Ballybrown, we played Camogue, I think, as I mentioned. We played Knock-On actually in a challenge match as well. They kept it going, kept the training going as well, and got a great buy-in from younger players. And actually, I was the oldest starting player on the pitch as well. So I'll tell you, there's no other player in their 30s was playing, with all 20-odd-year-olds and younger, very young team overall, which should augur well for going up. So
Thomas, I said to Brendan Giltinan, are we witnessing a new era?
We might, I don't know, we'll have to see. But look, it's good to be up a grade, and Junior A awaits next year. But I do spare thought as well for Knock-On, because in fairness, they didn't throw in the towel. I know their team is probably nearly the opposite of a lot of older cohort.
Yeah, and this is their third time losing the Junior B final. They lost to a last minute goal in 2019 to Bannog. They lost very heavily in 2022 to Castletown Ballygrand. And similar heartbreak to 2019 on this occasion. They have been there or thereabouts like Camogue Rovers, but Rovers have been constantly there for the last 4 years. And Knock-On's flirtations with success have been a bit more spread out, but I've no doubt that their day will come, Tom.
Yeah, disappointing for them. Obviously, the Cosgroves are key there, and I think PJ Butler is actually the chairman, and he was wearing the number 3 jersey. So, they did have good performances on the day. It goes without saying, but they only led once and couldn't hold on to it late on, and unfortunately for them, then couldn't get ahead in extra time. But yeah, their day indeed may come at the level, but won't be 2025. Moving though, Matt, to the Junior C competition. You said we wouldn't get there. We will. So Liberty's return to football has ended. I think I might have called this, I don't know, was it off air on air with you a long way off? I saw them in a league game very early against Knock-On, actually, because I refed it very early in the season, and I thought this was a team that was capable of winning the county, and so it proved. They 3-point winners over a Tays second string in Fina, and by all accounts they were pillar to post winners, I think, on the day, and were worthy winners of the inaugural Junior C competition.
Yeah, that is the information I have as well, and it was it's lovely to see Liberties back in football, and like it goes some way of some bit of consolation, because it hasn't been a good year for their hurlers, who will be starting off in intermediate hurling next year. So there was a huge disappointment in the club, and I've been speaking to people from the club, and they don't hide that fact. But this is good consolation for them. Now, you in particular, and I to a lesser degree, Tom, at the outset of the championship this year, were worried about the Junior C Championship and the potential for a proliferation of walkovers, which didn't really happen, Tom, thankfully.
No,
which
it was a couple, all right, but it wasn't.
There were a couple, but not to the extent that we feared. And we had with the like of Patrick Swell putting out a team, with the like of Kilmallock putting out a team, with the like of South Liberties putting out a team. So if you're to benchmark or yardstick the wisdom of having a Junior C Championship this year, it passes with flying colours. And I have no doubt that it will evolve from here, that it will get better, as we're seeing the Junior C hurling 3 years ago, Tom, when it started. You'd say to yourself, what are we starting here?
Yeah, I think there was only about 6 or 7 teams in the first year, was there?
And it was a good competition even the first year, but it has evolved into 2 groups now, and with a very good final. And we'll be talking about that in a minute. Might be one-sided, but it's fantastic for Liberties to get silverware on the board. Very, very, very important. And disappointment for a Tay. Now, it's the second year in a row that a Tay have lost the county final. I think last year it was the
Premier Junior,
Premier Junior football final they lost.
Exactly, yeah.
And it didn't come back this year to reach the final or anything like that. But at least, their second team did them proud. And also down at that Junior C, Tom, you had Glen, who had a very difficult, their first team had a very difficult year at intermediate level, and will now be playing Premier Junior next year. And it was good to see them getting to the semi-final stage. But I think from far out in this competition, Tom, and I didn't see any game in the competition, but I was following it closely as I track all competitions. It did appear to me that South Liberties were the team to beat. And from information that I got from different sources, it did appear to me that they were the team to beat, and that it has proved. And heartiest congratulations to South Liberties. Good to see them back playing football. Good to see them back lifting silverware.
Yeah, I think it was the early 2000s when they last won a silverware football championship-wise anyway, as far as I know. They scored 22 goals, I think, in what did they play, 7 games maybe? So pretty impressive shooting, and they'll probably hold no fears going up a grade if they can keep the bulk of that team lining out, and they might pick up 1 or 2 more as things progress as well. I see there at the program.
Yeah, because there'd be always skeptics when you're starting off with a team again, and they'd say, and it's all about creating the environment around the squad that people want to play with it. I keep saying all the time, and that's what it is about. And that invariably, Tom, is the ingredient that is the difference between success and failure.
Absolutely, yeah. So well done to Captain Mike O'Brien and indeed the management team of Paul Butler, Mike Keane and Garrod Holland involved there. So celebrations for
congratulations
the
to Paul, because Paul has been involved with so many teams across all the codes. Was a great goalkeeper for a good many years with South Liberties, but what a guy to help the various teams. Has been involved with St. Ailbe's, has been involved with South Liberties hurlers. An absolutely fantastic guy. And
Yeah.
I wasn't, Tom, in the slightest bit surprised. I could have guessed it if I wasn't told as to who I could have guessed one of the South Liberties mentors was going to be Paul Butler.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the football. You mentioned it a few times there, Matt, as we went along. The Junior C hurling, that concluded the Junior C finals. It was Doon getting their victory, their fourth team against Monaghan's second team. Bit of a no contest on the scoreboard by the looks of it, but this is a formidable enough looking Doon team with plenty of experience at the higher grades, and they so proved on Saturday afternoon.
It is. There's 3 ex-county men in it. Dennis Maloney was in goals, who had a good stint with Limerick Seniors and had an outstanding stint for a long time with Doon Seniors. Likewise, Niall Maher and Michael Ryan. Niall Maher and Michael Ryan, Tom, scored 115 between them. Michael Ryan, who was man of the match, got a goal and 6 points from play.
Yeah, I think he's Pat's brother, isn't he?
He's Pat's brother, Michael.
Yeah, I ref their one of their group games, and he was in the first game back nearly in a long while, and there was a bit of ring rust there, but by God, he still had the ability for that level.
Oh,
for sure,
it was absolutely. He was playing with Doon up to about 2 or 3 years ago, and actually he dipped his toes in management a small bit this year, in that he was involved in the South Liberties management team. I remember in Bruff this year when I went to cover the first game of the year. Between South Liberties and Garris-Ballan, I was shocked when he came out of the car, immediately parked beside me, and I just said to him, Michael, where are you going? And he told me he was involved in the management team, which surprised me. But a goal and 6 points, Tom, in a county final, you can't argue with it. And of course, Niall Maher got 9 points, 6 were from frees, but you two of your key forwards getting a goal and 15 points between them. It gives you an idea of the sense. But credit to Monaghan, it's Monaghan's second team as well. But look, we've said it so often, Tom, about Doon. This is their fourth team.
Yeah, what's the problem?
What's the four get to the county final, and the other got to the county semi-final.
Yeah, what's the predicament next year for them? So, do they have 2 Junior B teams, or what's the lie of the land? I don't know.
I don't know. I have their Ballygunner predicament.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And as far as I know, next year the Junior B will still be divisional. They won the East Junior B this year, so it's not like that team needs to be regraded down or anything. You know what I mean? So,
Tom, I think that's a story for another day, from what I'm hearing.
All right, we'll soon see. But yeah, Doon up the rank in with their bottom team, we think. So we'll see. But silverware at last for them, having I suppose won the minor, but lost a lot in between at the business end of championships. I'm sure there was celebrations for that group and rounding out the year.
How many clubs would give their right arm for 2 titles?
Yeah, for one, we're talking about a lot there.
One.
Yeah.
Come on, Rovers 1 in 100 years, Doon winning 2 in the 1 year.
For sure.
And a bit, I suppose, by their own standard, a small bit underperforming.
Yeah, not a million miles away from a lot more. Moving to Munster Club, you mentioned it as well there, Matt, as we moved to Knockderry. We'll play Kilbrittain this Saturday afternoon on home soil, having gone to Kenmare, Temple no, but having beaten Kenmare Shamrocks in the quarter-final. It's a Munster semi-final against Kilbrittain, and Kilbrittain, are they East Cork, I believe, isn't it?
West Cork.
Oh, West Cork, sorry, yeah. So home to
a very notable Kilbrittain man is
Jamie Wall.
Jamie Wall.
Yeah, former guest on this podcast, yeah.
Yeah, who was with us in this podcast, and who also was and is very much involved with Mary Immaculate College hurling, and has been involved in Fitzgibbon's Cup successes with the college, was also involved successfully with Kilmallock for a couple of years. But he would be Kilbritton's best known GA son anyway. And yeah, they won the Cork Championship, Tom. Cork teams have won the last 6 Munster Championships. So that will give you a sense of what Knockaderry may be up against. Now, they beat Glen Rovers in the Cork County final. That would be Glen Rovers' second team, of course. And but Knockaderry, Tom, there's a couple of things going for them. They had been in the Munster Championship before in 2004 when they lost to the Cork champions Ballygarvan. In Ballygarvan, they lost by 4 points. But they'll have two very clear advantages on Saturday. It's on Saturday, Knockaderry at 1:30. First, they have
1:15, Matt.
Oh, sorry, 1:15. They have home venue, Tom, which is a big plus. Plus the fact that they have the benefit of a game in the competition under their belts. And like in that particular game, Tom, Knockaderry had to show tremendous resilience to see off the Kerry Intermediate champions, Kinmare Shamrocks. I think they scored the last goal and 6 points without reply to edge into the semi-final. But that will give you an idea of the resilience that's in the side. And like the inspiration, of course, was provided by none other than Tom Condon, an All-Ireland winner in 2018. His famous hand that caught that ball will never be forgotten. But in that game against Kinmare, Tom, he started at full forward, but came out around the middle, had a huge influence, and just lifted all those around him, and lifted them sufficiently to make that dash for home in the closing stages. And I'm looking forward, Tom. I'm traveling to Knockaderry on Saturday and looking forward to going there. It's always a very, very nice place to visit. Being going down there for the football for a number of years, and certainly looking forward to the circumstances of this particular visit to Knockaderry, that they're playing in a Munster Clubs Championship semi-final, and I think, Tom, they have a real chance.
I'd say they do. Yeah, I think the fact that, as you said, they were already in the competition should give them a bit of belief automatically, And
talking to people on the last 2 weeks, saying, the Cork team are going to win that.
Yeah, no,
I don't read that script at all. I'm reading a different script.
Look, there is obviously merit in saying the Cork champions will be good, because generally speaking, as you said, was it 6 years in a row they've won it?
Yeah.
Cork teams have at intermediate and junior been particularly dominant, but I wouldn't say they've ever really blown the Limerick teams out of it either. But it's fair to say that they probably will come as favourites, but Knockaderry will hold no fears, given as well the manner of their recent 2 victories in tight fashion against Doon in the county final, and then again, in winter hurling again below in Temple now against Kinmare.
Yeah, that Tom Knockaderry had battle hadn't. Like they got a really good test from Doon in the county final. They won by a point. And like they certainly got a test from Kinmare when they were trailing, going down the straight by a goal and 4 points, by 7 points, and they won by 2.
Yeah, no, that has to build something for them. But anyway, it's Saturday is that Munster semi-final. It's an early start in one sense, 1:15. I had the other fixture here. I'm after misplacing it. The other side of that draw for those interested is Kilrossenty of Waterford against Care of Tipperary. I don't think Care are even the champions of Tipperary at junior level. I could be wrong now, but Eamon Stapleton of Doon actually takes charge of that one. So that's in Leamy Bryan. So it'll be Tipperary or Waterford versus Cork or Limerick in the final, which is due to be played on the 29th of November. So it'll be a 2-week turnaround for Munster final for whoever the 2 winners are. Unfortunately, Matt, that is the extent of our Munster Club action in terms of hurling anyway. The other 2 have bowed out, as we know, in disappointing fashion, but Knockaderry will fly the flag this weekend in Munster semi-final action. That There was Munster action though for I suppose Tom Condon. You mentioned his partner Sarah Carey. We'll start with the junior. She was short trip down the road to Ballyround and a victory for them over Kerry opposition. So a Munster final to come for Patrick Swell in the Munster Junior Camogie Championship.
Yeah, Tom, I've little detail on it other than that they led at half-time by 11 points to 1-4 and won by 15 points to 2-5. So half-time 4 up, full-time 4 up. Yeah, I was expecting, Tom, that Patrick Swell would win that against Killard. Now, Crow Kilfinney won it last year against the same opposition. But I think it's a very, very competent Patrick Swell side, a very strong Patrick Swell side. Good mixture of like the likes of Sarah Carey, the likes of Sarah Gillan, Teresa Dorr, and then you have the young guns, the O'Grady's and Kate Vesey and Roisin O'Brien, who've been involved at top level at county level. So they dug out the win, Tom, and obviously dug it out comfortably. And then on the 23rd, I think is it a Saturday or a Sunday? It's a Sunday. They will play Clooney Quinn from Clare in the Munster Junior Clubs final, and it's at that venue, that very busy venue called TBC.
Hopefully the surface will hold up to it. But
yeah, we never hear bad reports of surfaces in TBC, do we?
Yeah,
It's Leicester turf, Tom, is it?
Must be. Joking aside, though, it's hopefully the venue was suitable to both clubs. I mean, Clooney Quinn is not a million miles into Clare. It's could they toss nearly for home advantage or have some venue within one of the counties? And said there's probably a likelihood now they'll be dragged to Prairie somewhere. And I don't know, is that the best thing to do in this scenario? I think
UL would seem a fair logic to me.
Yeah, although grass pitch in UL at this time of year, I don't know. I don't think they'll want to play it on an artificial surface, but that's just my view of it. But nevertheless, they're in the fight, and that's the main thing. So that's Sunday week for Patrick Swell, and best wishes to them against Clare opposition. Will be no harm to lower the banner colours at this time of the year, any time of the year, as we always say. Matt, you mentioned it there at the outset of the programme. Newcastle West in hard luck. They had probably a small bit of fortune in one way to get to extra time, but draw after 60, draw after 80, and then we played another 10 minutes to reach 90 minutes on the clock. And unfortunately, they came just short in the extra couple of 5 minutes of extra time.
If Newcastle West would look to take it extra time, St Finbarr's would pox altogether to take it to the two extra team.
Right. Have you seen some of this game? I didn't see any of it now.
Yeah, I've seen every bit of it.
Goal, yeah.
And a lot of it twice. And like it was in the 24th minute, the 14th minute of the second half of the first two periods of extra time that I think it was Kevin McCarthy, she's a former Cork Senior player, got the equaliser to force it to 2 periods of 5 minutes. I was pretty certain. I thought that when Kate Ambrose got the goal to put him 2 up, going down the home straight with 1 minute of time left, that it was going to be Newcastle West stay, but St Finbar's hit back with all at Cahalan, first of all having it, and then by my reckoning, Tom, it was the 4th minute of extra time in the second period of extra time, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I have you. God, yeah.
And now there was an injury, but whether it was 4 minutes or not, I don't know. And it just in the final 2 minutes, or the final 2 5-minute periods, the Bars outscored in Newcastle West 3 points to 1. But what a credit to that county. Mike Quaid and his charge as well, and what a credit they were to Limerick Camogie.
Yeah, does it all go well?
I know all this thing that's going around, and I've been listening to it all the years. Hands up, sure, nobody beat Newcastle West. Newcastle West are setting a standard for others to follow. And yes. Rather than being criticising him, we'd be better engaged, Tom, and better employed trying to emulate him. And I did say to you that 2 years ago, when they lost to Sarsfields, they were very, very unlucky when there was only, 30 seconds of extra time when there should have been a lot more. And it was the extra time that wasn't and the extra time that was that has caught them 2 years now. And I'm absolutely, totally convinced that their performance against Galtier in Newcastle West last year was a freak. They just didn't come to the party on that day, and that was not the Newcastle West that we knew. And,
I think this is probably more like it.
This is the Newcastle West that we knew. Plus the fact, Tom, that there is measurable improvement in this Newcastle West team. I believe that they're a much better all-round team than they were even 12 months ago.
Yeah, and the young players are really adding to it as well.
The young players have made a huge difference now. They didn't root up trees with scores, but they were effective.
That's for sure.
And there's only one way for this Newcastle West team, unfortunately, and I have to announce it to all other pretenders, is up.
Yeah,
I think they're going to get better now. Karen O'Leary, Debbie Murphy, absolutely outstanding. Rebecca DeLee, 5 points from play. You know, we've had those names. Kate Ambrose, flawless from frees. The defence, absolutely watertight for the most part.
Yeah. There's little fear, I think, if they go back into Munster again, that they're going to do Limerick proud. I suppose it's just the trick for now is to get back on the horse next year and win the county again, you know, because they probably have tasted more of this Munster Championship because they're so close to a real breakthrough for them, you know. And
look, it's staring him in the face, Tom.
Yeah,
you know, Mike Wade and his management team have done a great job. Plus the fact, Tom, that this year they timed their run in the championship. Their time peaking, dead on, spot on. Now, they did get a bit of an examination from a hand in the semi-final, which only benefited them. It only benefited them because there's nothing better going into a county final than a tough semi-final.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, they got that and they breezed through the final then as a result, really. Okay, so that's unfortunate for the Magpies, but that is their lot in terms of 2025. They'll have to reflect on a 3 in a row, isn't it, in Limerick? So, and they'll try and go back for a push.
Mike Wade will not forgive you if you say 4 in a row.
Well, that's the ambition, whether they like it or not, the next time they take to the field in Championship Camogie. Matt, any other business for us? I don't think we've anything on the ladies football front that I'm aware of anyway.
No. The ladies football is winding to a close. The Munster Club Championship is over. Comra Rangers won the Munster Club Championship. Now they're going up to play the Galway Crowd and this Friday or Saturday in the All-Ireland semi-final. So the football, the ladies football clubs championship will be done and dusted by Christmas.
Yeah, that's it. Although the weather is doing its best, and the same, I suppose we should mention the under-20s championships in hurling and football. We will see the business end of them in the next few weeks. But weather is
Tom, there was an ambitious program of games on for last night, and they were washed out.
Yeah, that's the worry.
And the county board now have to try and find alternative dates for them, because I think a number of the fixtures that were down for decision would probably give them semi-finals.
Give them the line up for semi-finals. Last round and catch up and all that.
I checked with it earlier today, and that there has been no arrangements made for refixtures. Now there are a plethora of first-round football fixtures at the weekend.
Right, it's now we're into serious. We're in serious overlap now on lads involved in schools and everything. But look, that's all we have time for this week. Bar, just to mention, obviously, the Limerick GA calendar, Matt. I know you were.
That Tom, we have to. It's absolutely. Can you bear with me a second, just to get it, so people can recognize what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't have the graphic to hand here, but it is the Limerick GA calendar, which is for 2026, obviously, and that is available in a number of different outlets for €12.50. Yeah, Matt, you have it there. One of the first ones off the press, as they say. So
yeah, Tom, this is I've got a number of them because they're ideal for a Christmas stocking.
Is that what you're giving me for Christmas, Matt? Fair play to you.
Because if you haven't got one, you've got one. What are you talking about? You've got a county medal for Christmas now, and you've got all the glory. No, but seriously, Tom, this is a fantastic piece of work. And
it is
like
celebrating 100 years of the Gaelic Grounds, isn't it?
100 years of the Gaelic Grounds, and like the amount of work, Tom, that has gone into it. The decision-making process, because I have no doubt they had so many competing interests for each month. But again, and we've seen what these three lads have produced in the past, Liam O'Brien, Niall Deegan and James London. Absolutely phenomenal work, Tom. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's the type of keepsake that everybody should have, all Limerick supporters should have. This is an absolutely fantastic production. It is more than a calendar, Tom. It's absolutely.
And there's a piece of history on each page in terms of the explanation around each month.
Even
and
the
each
cover,
picture.
like how many great memories the cover, like you've Declan Hannon, Donal O'Grady, Kieran Carey, Eamon Cregan, Joe O'Connor, all lifting trophies. You know, capturing great moments in the Gaelic Grounds. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And we're blessed to have three lads like this, Tom, who every year come up with something novel to recapture the proud history of Limerick GAA.
Yeah, that's for sure. And so
this production, Tom, for $12.50 is a snip.
Yeah, $12.50 available in a plethora of shops around the county. You'll see them at the counter, and a lot of them I've seen them myself. So an easy little pick up.
The proceeds of it are going to the upkeep of the Gaelic Grounds.
Very apt, I suppose, given the theme of it. Yeah, very good. As we head into the 100th year of it. So
I would appeal to people to support it. You're getting value for money when you're getting this article.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's available around the county to pick it up in time before the limited enough supply expires. But Matt, that I think is it for our lot. Congratulations to all the winners last weekend. We'll tip our hats together. But anyway,
congratulations again, Tom.
No, all the other 6 winners.
Hold on a second now. Are we finished with junior B football for this year until
we are
until Knockaderry?
Yeah, that's in 2026. So we'll
I want to hear about junior B football competition again now.
I hope it's on the front page, Matt, of the Weekly Observer and Vale Star newspapers, but I won't hold my breath at the same time. Right, folks, we'll chat to you again soon and treat you.
Looking for a new car or expert service? Visit Limerick Motor Centre, your main high-end dealer on the Ballysimon Road.